Hi, and welcome to the Edward channel. I'm just finishing off some editing here in our editing studio at Vinewood Studios. We have a number of different documentaries for you today. Think of it sort of like one show or something like that. Let's talk about our first drama documentary news item. It's about Egypt. Now, it didn't quite go according to plan, but I think that's the thing with experimental television. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and it's the journey. It's about getting there, isn't it? And there are bits of it that blow my mind and have blown my mind, and I think will blow yours.
There's no evidence to suggest the ancient Egyptians were stupid. In fact, there's an awful lot of evidence to suggest they got it 100% right. If you look at hieroglyphics, you'll find there's no hieroglyphic for mistake, whereas in modern parlance there's millions of ways. To talk about this, I've brought in the author of The Decline of Intellect, Our Collective Forgetfulness, Miss Paula Mendes. Thank you, Paula, for coming today. What's your book about?
I wrote it, and it's a book about us getting less clever through time.
Oh, that's very interesting.
We're going to hit an emergency of stupidity, that's the next era.
Right, the emergency of stupidity. Yeah, it's coming soon. What kind of response have you had from people?
Word is getting out. Because what I've done is, if people come into the library and they ask for a book, a crime book or what have you, I give them this.
So has the book actually been published?
Yes, 5 of them have been printed on the library's printer.
Right. So, could you give us maybe a couple of passages from your book just to illustrate some of your thoughts?
Yeah. Paula ravished into the room, her dress flowing around her great knees. Colin said, "You look great. Have you been on a diet?" She laughed coquettishly.
Yeah, we're looking more for something more factual stuff, not the...
Oh yeah, no, what I did was I started it with a central figure that everyone could relate to and was actually quite beautiful, and started with a few raunchy stuff just to hook people in.
I didn't feel Paula had brought me any closer at all to deciphering the mysteries of the Colossus of Egypt. With too many questions to answer, I agonised down the narrow halls of antiquity, searching for some evidence to my theory, but everything I saw just raised more questions. It's rubbish, if you ask me. I could have done that. It's not difficult. Look at that, it's just basic painting, you know. Suddenly a pattern presented itself to me, and with an open mind and some clear vision, I began to see some hidden answers presenting themselves. I always knew I would find them. Eagle-headed collector of cones. There's part of me that thinks it's symbolic, but there's another part that thinks maybe it could be real. Could be. Family of cat gods. Sitting down is Dad there. That's Mum. And those are the 2 sisters.
If they were alive today, what would you ask them?
Nice to see you, you know. Things have changed a bit. I eventually came to the conclusion it was probably just symbolic. For some reason, they'd got into the whole half-animal, half-human thing. I flirted with the idea that it was all real, but ultimately, like any form of ornamental decoration, you have to take it all with a pinch of salt. So, Paula, would you like to come and finish the interview? So your thoughts on Egypt?
The Egyptians were very clever, and we are probably also okay. Thank you.
That's good. So to conclude, it doesn't really add up to a hill of beans, does it? And when all's said and done, we all still have to get up on a Monday morning and go to work, don't we? What does it change? If the Egyptians had magical, mystical powers, so what? You know, we still watch the TV anyway, don't we? I mean, you know, there's no difference. So I suppose that ends it, really. Amy. And thank you and good night.
Yeah, can you shoot this one doco style? You know, like... Yeah, okay, right. Hi, well, that was a bit of a mind bender, wasn't it? God, blimey. The next one, you'll be surprised to hear, is Mother Teresa of Calcutta being interviewed by me. I accept she's actually dead, but in this instance, we've recreated her just to raise some of the issues and questions that we've all still got.
Well, here we are again at the pearly gates, and today we get to decide whether Mother Teresa of Calcutta goes to either heaven, hell, or stays in purgatory. So, hello, Mother Teresa. You were a nun, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
For ages.
And did you ever get leprosy?
Not everyone gets leprosy.
No? Why not?
Well, because you only get it if you're a leper.
You became a nun, yeah?
Yeah.
18, yeah?
In 1928, I got a call from God.
What did he say?
Teresa, it's God. I don't know. I'm calling you from heaven.
Yep. In 1971, you got the Nobel Peace Prize.
1979. Oops.
Why? Why did you win it?
Been a really good nun for nearly 70 years. Top of my game.
And then you died.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
5th of September 1997.
Bit of a nightmare, eh?
Yeah.
The Pope beatified you. Do you have any views on that?
What? Is that a bit wrong for a Pope to do that to a nun?
If you get beatified, you get made a saint.
Oh yeah.
So it's not.
I know.
It's not a one up. You know.
I know. I was just looking down at that point.
How are you?
Yeah.
Where from?
Heaven.
But we're here today to decide whether you go into heaven or not. So
My
you can't have
coffin?
been in heaven, can you?
I think, like, I've always thought that when people die, they're kind of like spirits just in the air. So I just was sort of looking down from the air.
So Saint Teresa of Calcutta it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't cut any mustard here, by the way.
What with you?
Yeah.
Don't care. I just don't care.
So heaven or hell?
Heaven.
Or purgatory, perhaps?
Heaven.
Why heaven?
Because I'm Mother Teresa and I'm a saint, and I was a nun for nearly 70 years, and I had a leper colony and a house for dead people in 1952, so I'll probably end up in heaven.
What do you think? You're going to hell.
You taking the piss?
I don't make the rules.
Okay, I don't care.
Okay. Well, that was Teresa and me rocking the night away. And now I want to reach for the sky. I want to head into the clouds and take a view on where the world is taking us. Think of this as future blueprint for the future.
Initiating system 1.
Doing the internet is now the most popular activity in the world, even more popular than taking prescription drugs. So it should be no surprise that the pharmaceutical industry wants in. But more of that later. But where does it stop? And what other needs are we going to need to meet through the internet? Headphones or head is a phone? iPhone or I am a phone? Car phone or I don't use a phone because my head is a phone. So what's going to happen anyway? I said earlier in the show, the huge, faceless, largely unregulated multinational pharmaceutical companies wanted in on the quick buck of hyperspace. Well, this is how they proposed to do it. The immersion chip. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Livestream. So now we have a true window into our friends' thoughts as they happen. I have a prototype immersion headset in the side of my head, implanted in my brain. So for the first time, here is my live feed while I've been talking to you today. So, I suppose that's it. I'm just going to download myself now. So I suppose I'll see you later.